Hello, sports fans. Mauricio here. Well, there was a request to show how to import Excel or CSV data into your database. Here's one way. Here's the way I learned. So, I got some data from Kaggle. We got your Amazon products data set that looks like it's kind of beefy. And I went ahead and downloaded that. And that got me this zip file that when you go into the zip file, there's so much data, it's funny. These are all products in categories. So I'm going to use just one of the products. So I just downloaded and chose cycling. By the way, if you did this, you would definitely want to use the browser inside the virtual desktop to save the Excel file right onto the desktop of the virtual desktop. That way you have easy access to it. Of course, I didn't do that. I had I had to take this Excel file and email it to myself and then open the virtual desktop, open the email, download this cycling file that you see in front of you, and I put it into a folder. So this is what the file looked like just for cycling. I think there's about 1,200 records, and these are things that Amazon sells. And I thought this ratings was nice. These discount prices are very high, so maybe they're for a dozen or a box of 10. So discount price looks like wholesale. Actual price looks like retail. And again, that looks like $12.99 per dozen. That's just a foot air pump. So that's $100 air pump. So who knows? But I went to import this data and it was dirtier than I thought. Yeah, this is what the original data looked like. A nice long name for the product. They're all sports and fitness. Subcategory cycling, they're all the same. It's got an image, so that's something that could be used, but I didn't. And then it's got links that would be kind of fun to play with too. Actually, we'll have to do that in the web class. Someone remind me. These have products, so what I'm going to do is download products like that are the top 50. So ratings 4.5 on a 5-point scale and above. But look how this data came in. So how do you get rid of that? Whatever it is, you just copy it. There we go. Control C, copy. Control H, search and replace. Control V, paste, and replace it with nothing. Replace all. Oh no. Oh, good. It did the entire. Nice. Close. Okay, 2000. I went ahead and imported this, and then there was an error. Uh, so the dirty secret of analytics is if you're importing data, you're cleaning data, and you have to look for shortcuts to do that. There was something in here. Get the word get. There was the word get in this column. Maybe it's just hidden by all this stuff. But you may have to clean up the data. Control H, search and replace. But I had a few iterations here. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling too much. So that was the original data, and then I emailed it to myself, But you don't have to do that if you download the file using the browser inside the virtual desktop. Sorry it's late, I can't talk. So these are the columns that I like, and there's like 11 or 1200 of them. So now we're going to import this data into SQL. Now, very important, I saved it as a CSV file. So it was an Excel file, but you have to change it to a CSV file, comma separated. So once you have the CSV file, right-click your database, tasks, import flat file, and here's this nice little wizard. So it was even worse before. Browse that, and go find your data. There's my data. It's a CSV file. So next. Okay, so call it cycling 2. I guess I just did this to prove that it works. And you want to go into modify columns. So there's so many. So I made this nvarchar max, but we're going to cut it to 1,000. I guess you could just do nvarchar 1,000. And if you get this wrong, you have to do it. You have to clean the data more, and that's a hassle. So these numerics work better. I just put 80. Well, something with dollars. Maybe I'll put the decimal places in there. Numeric 18.2. Then switch it to 8.2. Next. Finish now. Oh, that's because I already cleaned the data. So we'll close that, then refresh, and go find. Well, there it is right there. So that's all the raw data. So now you have to, we're going to have to select this into. Oh, so by the way, I went into my products table and I widened the product name to 1,000. That's enough. And then save that. But we need to pick the data. So we're going to use various filtering. So for example, where ratings greater or equal 4. So that's down to 631 rows. So that's too much. And so why is it all red, Featherman? Because it's a new table. Edit IntelliSense, refresh. Sometimes it works. And discount price is not null. So that's something to memorize. Is not null. All right, good. We're down to 500. And, maybe we can get them greater than or equal to 4. So now we're down to 100. So that's pretty good. So you have to write a query to, okay, which products do you want to put into your store? Maybe you're going to put another 10 products in your store. How do you know which ones? Well, you could do some calculations to see what the profit margin is per unit. So let's do that. So here we go. I wanted to get products where the ratings were over 4.5, the best of the best. Discount price is not null. And I wanted to sell these products, seats and socks and things like that. But the data needs to be changed. So so we're it was category name. So um, if inside a select statement you use IIF in SQL, so if that column is like sports, and all of them were like sports, um, yeah, sorry, um, all of them were sports. So that's just a trick to identify all of them. So I didn't want to type it all out. If that column is like sports, put them in category 4. So I added a category 4 because I want to have sports and fitness products, 44 products. So I just counted them. All right, so give it category ID 4. So that actually did a switch from text to number. So that's pretty interesting. So if it is sports, give it a 4. Change it to 4. That's how you get a 4 there. All right, the cost. Take the discount price and divide it by 12, and that's the cost per unit. Those prices they had were very large. They had a discount price, and they had an actual price, discount price, actual price. So I just divided those by a dozen. And then, of course, there's like 4 decimal places, so you have to use this convert numeric, and that's nice in that you just chop off as many, you format and chop off a bunch of decimal places, so 2 decimal places is enough. So we changed the name to product name. Why? Because so we're trying to trim the data and get it ready for our products table. So what are the columns of the products table? Dun, 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 dun. Product name, hello. Category ID, okay. Cost. So I was very careful to plan ahead because we're going to import rows into this products table. So you can see the data we're getting. So this is a pretty nice and. So it has to satisfy all these conditions. There is a rating and it's above 4.5, and there's a price there. All right, so all we're going to do is take that and insert it into the products table. So this is an insert into, select from where, and there's no group by here. Insert into, so that's a pretty nice query, and that's definitely a keeper for a DBA. Insert into, select from where. And all I did was put count the number on the coming in, before, count the number of rows in the products table before we upload the data, count the number of products after we upload the data, and so I encourage you, I guess I'll go ahead and run it for you. So here's the answers we got. 82 products prior to data upload. That's where that came from. 115 products after data upload. So these, I really encourage you to use these print statements. All right, and then we went ahead and counted the number of products. What I did was join products and categories table because I wanted to get this category name. So that produces that little output. So now we can see, well, we have a lot of products, and so this join is covered elsewhere. Just so one last thing. So we input the rows. I mean, I could show them to you in the products table, but they're there. Okay, you're from Missouri, so now you can see these are the rows that were input. See, we only put in a few rows, a few columns of data. This first table was put in by a trigger, but this second table was put in by our select statement. So we'll talk about triggers another day. Take care, sport fans, and I hope it works for you.